GPT-4o just launched, and in this video, I'm going to show you an incredible automation that will take the conversation that you have with GPT-4o. It will run it through a system, and we will extract everything that the model said to you. And off the back of that, we're going to run it through here, and as an output, it will give you anything you want. You can chat to it about creating social media posts, and we can post this automatically. We can create productivity lists, anything you can possibly imagine. We're going to be able to do with this automation. This technology, guys, is insane, and I'm going to show you step by step how to build the whole thing out. Now, I've done a video before on voice activated AI, but guys, this is completely different, and I'm going to show you exactly why in this demo. This is different because you can have a conversation with it in real time. You can hash out your ideas, improve it. I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And it will actually build on your ideas with you, and then we'll take the combined output you've got and then run it through this incredible automation. So check out this demo. Let's watch it quickly together. Then I'm going to show you how it works and show you how you build it step by step. So let's listen to what these guys have got to say about it, okay?
Icon on the bottom right of the ChatGPT app, and this will open up GPT-4o's audio capabilities. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm Mark. How are you?
Oh, Mark. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Hey, so I'm on stage right now. I'm doing a live demo, and frankly, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Can you help me calm my nerves a little bit?
Oh, you're doing a live demo right now? That's awesome.
So you get the idea, right? I could sit down and listen to this demo all day, but look, that's the bottom line of it. So let's start with what this automation actually looks like, and then we'll look at how you build it and how much it costs to run. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Jack, and this channel is all about the latest AI. It's about incredible automations, and most importantly, it's about the stuff that works. And everything that I make in these videos, guys, is all available over in my school community. So if you want to just access these automations, all you do is you come down here to more, import the blueprint, grab the file, you select the file, you save, and the automation populates automatically. And so with that in mind, grab a coffee and let's jump straight in. This automation starts with the GPT app. So you want to go ahead and download the ChatGPT app. And when you're using it, you come down to the bottom right and you click conversation. Now, because I'm in the UK and for some reason GPT hates us, there's a bit of a lag at the moment and delay, so I'm not able to have a conversation with you, but you'll be able to see from the demo, it's real time and it's amazing. So what do? We have the chat with it, we hold over it, we export, and we just send it over to Slack or any input that you like. I've chosen Slack, it could be Google Docs, whatever trigger you literally want, we send it over there. Once that happens, we grab that, we modify it slightly, and then we use something called Appify. And I'll show you everything you need to know about Appify and why this tool is so amazing. The reason why we're sending it over to Slack is because it was unexportable. Honestly, I was pulling my hair out with this. It was like impossible to do, but I found a way around it. So this is why I want to share with you guys. I'm gonna love it. So this entire automation starts with you. You're on the beach, you're taking some fresh air, you're chatting about life, you're building ideas, maybe you're thinking about how you want to get productive. You finish the conversation. You export the chat and you send it out. In this example, I've sent it over to Slack, but in reality, it could be Google Docs, it could be Airtable, it could be Notion, it could be any platform you want. I've just chosen Slack as an example. So let's run the module. Okay, so we hit run once, it's picked up the message from Slack, it's saying it through this bracket modifier, it's gone to Appify. Appify, if you don't know, is this like incredible thing that's like about scraping the web. You can scrape Instagram, you can scrape YouTube, websites. It's phenomenally powerful. Now, the conversation I had with this, okay, imagine you're at the beach, you're having a conversation, you're thinking about life, you're trying to get productive. I tried to chat to it about a to-do list. I was like, hey, I've got to do this. I need to get a day night with my wife. I need to get productive. I gave it loads of lists of things that I wanted to do. It then bounced back ideas with me. It's like, oh, that sounds cool. Have you thought about this? Could we do this instead? And it literally brainstormed ideas with me. So that, and this is why it's so crazy, right? Like I'm giving it like ideas and talking to it, and it's like improving it and finding ways that it could be better. Now, Appify has grabbed our conversation. It's running through an iterator. It's gone through this tool section. Don't worry if this sounds complicated. I'll explain everything you need to do step by step. Then Anthropic Claude has taken all of our conversation that we had and all the outputs from the module, and it's creating it into a productivity tracker. So when I head over now to this document, there'll be a full itemized to-do list about everything I had a chat, and it should be organized by priority. And look at this, guys. Here we go. Shopping, grocery list, other shopping, pick up the phone charger, date with the wife, pick up the dogs, set my workspace. And the way I program this is like, give me a color code of like green, orange, red about like what's important. And you could export this to Notion. You could turn this into emails. Like, let's say I was talking about I know I'm going on about use cases, but I just want to emphasize how epic this is, right? I could say, I need to send an email out to my team. This is what I want to get across, but I'm not sure about it. And all we would do in this scenario, guys, is come here, and just change the prompt for Anthropic. So there's like a million different ones. I'm gonna build that as a library, about 12 in my community of different things you can add in there, like emails or productivity tracker, and I'll build out and make it super comprehensive. But I just wanted to get this video out to show you how incredible this actually is. Now, in terms of pricing and the actual tools that you need to run this automation, what does that look like? Well, as you might have guessed it, we need Meg.com, right? Which is our no-code automation platform for building this. We need access to GPT-4o, so you're gonna wanna have access to that via OpenAI, and you're gonna need to download the app. Now, once you've got that, you're gonna need access to Appify. Now, Appify itself is free up to a certain level. So can you see here in the bottom left, it's got memory and free usage. They give you $5 literally per month of like free credits to run, and they're not that expensive. So that entire automation that I just ran there cost me 1 cent. And for how productive it's gonna make me, I'll pay 1,000 cents. I'll pay 1,000 cents. It's ridiculous. So if you've got Appify, you can run that for free. Just get a good like sense of whether you like it or not. I've got a feeling you're gonna love it. But essentially you can do that, have a good time with it. After that, what else do we need? Well, you can use ChatGPT if you want to, but I've used Anthropic because I find that Claude gives me better responses in terms of like language and that sort of stuff. But essentially, you don't have to buy that. You can just get $5 of API credits with Claude, and that's super easy to set up, and I can show you that later in the video as well. Then of course, Google Docs. Now, that sounds like a couple of things, but I promise you it's a lot more straightforward than it looks. So with that in mind, guys, I'm gonna jump in now and show you how you build this entire thing step by step. So the first thing you need to do is download the app, but a quick TLDR on GPT-4o. I'll put some of the stuff down below so you need to watch the 30-minute video if they want to. The two key things here, guys, is the fact that it's 50% cheaper and has 5 times a high rate limit compared to GPT-4 Turbo. In other words, that's great news. It's also got vision capabilities, so you can hold it up and it will actually describe the world around you. I'm gonna do a video on that for you as well, because there's some incredible things you could do that could help you monetize things and sell things to your clients, or just make your life epic. So in other words, the bottom line is GPT-4o is epic. We've got improved multilingual support, okay? 50 different languages. Talk to it in whatever language you want to. Some of my community wants to chat to it in Portuguese and improve it. I think that's incredible. So literally the possibilities of this are nuts. So the very first thing you need to do here, okay? Download the app and have the conversation. You know, basically just chat to it about whatever you want. The automation that I'm gonna build here today with you is a productivity one. So you're out on the beach, you're having a chat, and we're gonna have a conversation, but you can configure this any way you want to. Now, once you've had that conversation, you're gonna go over to the conversation tab on the left, you're gonna hold it down, and you're gonna put share. And all you then do is just click on, in this case, the Slack channel and send it over. And if you don't have Slack, Slack has a free channel that you can use, but essentially it's really easy to get started. So we have the conversation and we export it to our trigger of choice. So if you're exporting to Slack, we need to start with Slack. So we come on Slack over here, we click on this one, and the one we're gonna look for is watch private channel messages. The one that I created was a private one, just for purposes of this video, so you can see. So we click on that one there, and then we get a list, and then we say input method from a list, and then you just select the channel that you've created. It could be your ideas, it could be anything that you want. So you select that here. I'm gonna set the limit for 1 for this one, and then I'm gonna click OK, which is awesome. So then I'm gonna run this module once to make sure that it's working properly. So we're gonna right click and run this module only. And when you run it, you should get this thing that has 0. If you've got lots of messages in there before, it will cycle through them. So just repeat the running process, increase the limit to 10 and keep on running this module only. And then when it comes down to 1, awesome. Okay, great. And then I'm gonna send a message into Slack to check that this works. But before I do that, I wanna add the second module into this. And essentially, the reason why I'm adding a second module into this, and the reason why we need to do any of this at all, is because when you export the conversation, it's a URL, and that URL will open up a conversation. So let me show you what that URL looks like. So if I come back to the example I gave you earlier, okay, and you see this, I'm just gonna copy it. You'll see a file like this, which is great. But the problem is, guys, when you try to scrape this, it's like impossible. Like none of the scrapers can actually pick up the information on it. So I had to find a super clever workaround to be able to export that at all. So just in case you're wondering, this is why we're going around this way, but don't let the word scraper put you off. I promise this makes perfect sense. And if you follow it step by step, you will be able to smash it. So look, when this exports a URL, it does it with these little brackets, less than, more than things. And we don't want those. So what the first thing we need to do is just create a GPT agent with the following prompt. So I'm gonna type in GPT, create a completion. Okay, great. Now let me show you how this works first so you get a good idea of it, okay? So I'm gonna send a message now into Slack and you're going to see this whole thing working, okay? So look, I put this in Slack. I come over here, I'm gonna unlink this for a second, okay? I'm gonna hit run once. And now this should show me the URL. And look, there you go, cool. But do you see, it's got these little brackets, and we can't just insert those into our Appify automation, otherwise it will like break and it doesn't like it because it's code. And you know what code's like, it's very specific about things like that. So basically the function of this guy, and I call him bracket guy because I think, you know what, let's call a spade here, right? Bracket man. We'll call this one bracket guy, give him a little guy emoji, which I like. Cool. And then, okay, sweet. Bracket guy is doing a little dance. Okay, that's what we like to see, right? He's happy, he's enthusiastic, and he's loving life. All right, cool, decent. So this is all over the place at the moment, isn't it? Wow, okay. And then we're gonna call this here, build together, and we'll call this one GPT-4o. And then of course, there's 2 parts to this, so put 1 out of 2. Sweet. All right, nice. So then the next thing we want to do is bring this over here, and we're going to give bracket guy a prompt. So what's the prompt we're giving to bracket guy? Well, essentially what we're saying, we'll copy this and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Look, we come over here, max tokens. Usually if you hit 0, by the way, it will just use the default of the model. So unless you're trying to be specific for some reason or want to limit it for costs, it's fine. The model I'm going to go with on this, guys, you can go for GPT-4, GPT-4o. In the spirit of GPT-4o, we're going to go with it. The reason why we don't mind GPT-4o here is because it's so short, it doesn't matter. It could be £1,000 for 1,000 characters. Like it, you know, it's not a huge deal because the characters are so small here. So then we click on user and then the message content. So we're going to enter this in here. And the prompt we're giving, it's really simple. So, hey, you're going to be given a URL with this format. It's going to be basically bracket, URL bracket, or whatever the specific name is for that. All the mathematicians in the comments, tell me down below what you call this. I think it's less than, more than. You are only capable of producing a URL. You will take the input and provide the URL without those symbols. Provide no additional text. Example input, https://google.com, and we remove it and then say your input is this. And then we click on this, and then all we're looking for, guys, you're just gonna select text, okay? Perfect. And then we're gonna come off, we're gonna click okay. I'm gonna send the message now back over to Slack, and then we're gonna see this is working perfectly. So send that over to Slack, and then we're gonna hit run once, comes through, sends it over to bracket guy. Bracket guy, has it given us? Let's have a look, choices, +1, message. There you go. He's given us the content without the brackets. You know, bracket guy is the most underrated GPT on the planet, actually. You know, let's give him some W's. Give bracket guy some respect down below in the comments. Cool. Now, this is where we head over to Appify, and we start to look at this cool no-code scraper stuff. So let's head over to appify.com now. I came across a video like yesterday of a guy called Nick going through Appify stuff. He did an amazing job of explaining it, but for those who don't know, like Appify, you know, it's about building reliable web scrapers fast, and the stuff you can do with this, guys, is phenomenal. You'll see a web page like this. It's all about web scraping. So essentially this is all about scraping as much information as possible from any platform you can imagine: Google, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Your mind can go a bit wild with how many things there are. You're going to create an account. Now, when you sign in, you'll jump in and see this kind of screen, okay? Now, don't be put off by what this looks like. It's actually super, super easy. So just to show you what it's like, come down to store on the left-hand side. And this is like an epic marketplace of things that you can use. So we've got web scrapers, right? That will extract information from the web. We've got Google Maps scrapers, Google search results scrapers, Instagram hashtag stuff. So I don't know, let's say that you want to target a hashtag about people that are wanting to fight, like fight night or preparing for a fight or something, and you want to target and sell them like MMA gloves or apparel. We could actually find the accounts that are using that hashtag with these kinds of scrapers and then do campaigns to follow them. I say all that to say, look, it's a really cool platform with lots of stuff, but we're after one particular scraper to rule them all to help us with this automation. So we're not going to do web scraper. Now, I tried a lot of these to get this to work, but it just wouldn't. The one I want you to use is you're going to scroll down and you're going to see Puppeteer Scraper. Click on Puppeteer Scraper. Now again, this is completely free to use. They give you, as you can see down here in the bottom left, they give you $5 of free usage per month in this account that I created, so it's pretty dope. And you'll be able to run all that stuff, okay? So we've got the Puppeteer Scraper. Now, I'm gonna head back over to Make and show you how you set this module up. So we go over to the first one here. Let me zoom out here. Okay, cool, and realign for the sake of the automation. And when you're integrating Make with Appify, all you do is you come down to settings and you come over to integrations, and then you'll see this personal API token. You copy that, and then you come back over to Make, and when you create an integration with Appify, you basically enter that code into it and then it will link both things together. So it's super straightforward, but I'll put a link down below for your convenience so you can just jump in and get started. So we add a new module. You come over, you're gonna look for Apify and run an actor, okay? Run an actor, awesome. And it'll start to load up different things. Cool. Now, what's an actor? We need to figure out what that is first, okay? Well, what you're going to need to do here, guys, is click on create a task, okay? And then you'll see on my saved tasks, I've got this puppeteer scraper. I've called it boom, puppeteer scraper. But just so that you can see what this looks like, I click on store. Let's say I click on this guy here, I don't know, Cheerio scraper, as a for instance. Now, I would enter the URL of the thing I want to scrape if I just wanted to do it in the platform. And I just click on create a task. We give it this, and I'll just call it test, and then I click, okay, cool. It's creating a task. Now, if I go over to save tasks, you see I've got him here, test, Cheerio scraper. Awesome, but we don't really need Cheerio scraper, so we're just gonna delete this guy. Although you'll see for a second why it's cool. So let me delete this guy, get him out of here. All right, sweet. So then we're gonna come back over to our scenario. So when we're back in our scenario, we click on this guy, bring him over, and then actor, we're gonna look for Apify Puppeteer Scraper, and then click enter, okay? And then just to show you that this works properly, let me come back over here and show you the URL, okay? So look, I grab this, I copy it, I'll show you what it looks like in Apify. So if I click on, let's see, yeah, if we click on this guy, input, we enter the input there, and then we hit save and start, for example, it'll start to run for us. You see all this stuff running in the background, all this code, kind of like we're in the Matrix a little bit, which is pretty decent. It will load up, work its magic. Here it shows you how long it's been running for, and you can see the memory usage in the bottom left, which is how much memory it's taken, and they cap it at 8 gigabytes, but I've never actually exceeded it in my use of it. Cool, then we come on to outputs. It has outputs 1, 2 items, and look guys, this is the output from the URL that I gave it, which is absolutely awesome. Okay, great. So we've got Apify, we've selected him. We're gonna select our puppeteer scraper here, which is awesome. And then we've got input JSON. So when you use the apps in Apify, essentially you'll see this thing here. So if I come through to this guy here, it has a JSON, you basically copy the JSON, and then you come back to the scenario and then you input the JSON here. Now the code for this, I had to cajole it a bit to get this to work because this scraper is the only one that works. So again, I'll put a link down for this below. And let's go back over now to our automation and I'm gonna input the JSON. Awesome. And then you're gonna scroll down this page, guys, to where you see URL like this. And when you do that, you're gonna zoom out and we're gonna give it the result from bracket guy like that, okay? Start URLs, URL, Grammarly's so keen on getting me back. We zoom out, then we're gonna click OK once we've done that. Awesome, then we come back over, let's realign it. Perfect, so then the next thing we need to do, so just to zoom out a sec, we've had our amazing brainstorm conversation with GPT-4o. We've exported it, Slack's grabbed it, we brought it over, bracket guy's worked his magic, and then we've done Apify, and then Apify is gonna head over to that website, essentially scrape the conversation, all the outputs that GPT-4 gave us, and now we need to think about, well, great, well, how do we access the data that Apify grabs so that we can actually use it for something productive? On the second part, we come here, we're gonna look for Apify again, and we look for watch when actor runs. We click on this guy, and we're gonna add a new hook, so click on add. Again, it checks our Apify connection, and then we select the actor. The actor we want, if we remember, is Apify Puppeteer Scraper. So essentially, that is the same person, if I can anthropomorphize these agents, is this guy, okay? So he's basically said, hey, I want you to watch until this guy spits something out, and once you do that, I want you to come and grab it. Then we click save, then we click okay. Awesome. Then we need to grab the data from that, so then we click on a plus, and then you're gonna click on Apify once again, and then get dataset items. Click on this, then it looks for the dataset ID, we click on dataset ID, we come down, and we're looking for, at the bottom here, default dataset ID. Awesome, cool. Clean, JSON, limit 100, that's fine. Click OK. Perfect. And now we've got to this stage, I'm just gonna run the automation to this point, and then we're gonna add the final bit, and then you're gonna be locked and loaded and ready to go. So we're gonna hit run once on this. Nothing's gonna happen because it's not found anything, okay? We're gonna come back over to this part here. Now to run this once, I need to send the message over to Slack again, so let's do that. Boom, I've sent that over. I click run once. when it will allow me to click run once. I click run once, selects founder, send it over to bracket guy, Appify's run the actor, we come back over here, now it's waiting. And bear in mind, what you can also check, if you see this memory bar go up, you know that it's working. If you click on runs, you can see that it's starting the crawler, so you can get complete status updates using that. This is working for us in the background. Again, guys, look at these prices, man, like 7% of 70% of 1 cent. It's so cheap. It's crawling the request, it's working for us in the background. We can sit back and relax as our life is changing due to these incredible conversations that we're having now with GPT-4o. I'm so excited to have a language feature out as well. I think it's be great for like improving your languages. Cool, we come back over. Now we wait for Appify to pick up the fact that the actor's actually finished its duty. Comes over and we grab the data set. So how do we know this works? Well, if this has worked, we'll see some of the outputs from the GPT model. So we click on this here, we click on data. Now you see here, it's given us 2 datas, right? A +1 and a +2. It's basically pulled out the conversation I had. So this module here at the moment, the way it works is it picks up the outputs from the model. So it will pick up what the model says to us, which is why you always want to end your conversations with, great, summarize everything I've said, or great, create the to-do list, get it to give you the output. But look, this should be 2 separate conversation points that I gave in a previous conversation. Like +1, text, look at this, there's a to-do list, there's the first thing it said to me, come down text, and there's a second thing it said to me. How cool is that, guys? We pulled that all from the app and it's gonna be completely automated. It's so cool. So now we've done that, the next thing we need to do is take that information and we kind of wanna run it through a brain, a Claude brain, to turn that data into something usable for us. But before we get there, we need to add these 2 pesky little things here called an iterator and a text aggregator. They look really complex on the surface, but once it's explained how it works, it'll make perfect sense. You know, a gentleman called Andy in our community is a genius at this stuff and he explains it so well. So Andy, if you're watching this video, you're phenomenal and thanks for helping out all the guys with this sort of stuff. So look, we come here, we're gonna add an iterator in, okay? Iterator, cool. And then we click on the array. So when you click on array, it's very simple. We're basically looking to find the data from Appify. You can see it pulsing like a heart. What the iterator is saying, look, I want to grab that data and bring it over here. Then I'm going to click OK. Then after that, we're going to come down to tools and I want to search for something called text aggregator, bring it over here. We're going to click on this purple tool, source module, which in other words, where do you want me to get the information from? We're going to click on iterator. And can you see, by the way, how the numbers, like that says 4, that also says 4, it corresponds just to make it easier. We say we want you to get it from number 4. Awesome. And what's the text we want? Well, the text is going to be here. Awesome. And then I want to click on show advanced settings, come down, row separator is going to be new row. Awesome. And then click OK. So what does that mean? What it basically means is that the iterator is going to grab the information from these 2 bundles, if you like, the data arrays, 2 collections, excuse me. And then text aggregator is just going to bring them together and pile them up like this. So that basically we don't need to repeat it and it'll be a lot easier for our final module to run the automation that we want. Does it sound complicated? A little bit, but as long as you select those functions, this will work perfectly for you. Now, if you'd like to use Claude for this module, you're just going to head over to console.anthropic.com. Again, I'll put a link down below in the bio for you. I just found in my experience, it did a much better job of taking my inputs and turning them into the kind of thing that I wanted. The modules, you know, the kind of models are very neck and neck in a lot of ways. So it can sometimes be personal preference, but I think Claude just has the edge for some of this stuff. So it's console.anthropic.com. You're gonna come through to settings and you see down here API keys. You can basically go there, grab your API key. You'll need to deposit $5 just to get started and use this. You also need access to Claude Plus, which is like $20 if you want to use Claude. Again, this is completely optional. This is just a personal preference and I want to show you what I personally like and you can make a decision if you want to. Then you'll get an API key and then when you come back over to Make, you can simply just integrate it. So that's quite straightforward, but I'll put the link down below so you can check that out if you want to. So add your language model of choice. Since you've already got GPT Plus, you may wish to use that. I'm going to use Claude in this one. So Claude, create a message. Awesome. The model, remember the most powerful version of Claude at the moment is Opus. And the other thing I'll say about GPT-4o, I'm blown away by how quick it is. It's like phenomenal. I'm really impressed with that. Max tokens, I'm going to set at 4,000. Come down, click on role. Role is going to be user. The content is going to be text. Excellent. And then we're going to give it the prompt. So what's the prompt we're going to give it? I can hear you ask that. So we come over, I'm going to copy it, And then let's get over to this automation so you can see, where are you? Second automation. You're right here. Awesome. Okay, come down, text. Let's go through what I'm asking it to do. So this is going to be the productivity one, which I think is like such a sick use case. But again, guys, you can use this for like anything. The concept is conversation that improves the output through to an automation, and then it can splinter off into millions of things. So look, as a language model, your role is to be a productivity assistant. Your purpose is to analyze a conversation and transform them into clear, actionable to-dos that can help people stay organized, focused on their tasks. When a conversation is provided, follow these steps. Carefully read it through. Format the list of to-do items, ensuring each item is clear, concise, and actionable. I want it to add a relevant emoji. Why? Because I quite like the style. I quite like it to look good. To each of the items, provide visual context. And then we say here, guys, look, arrange your to-do list in order of priority. So this model is taking everything I've said and it's going to add a sense of priority to it. So like if I come over here, for example, to our productivity system, can you see what it did? It basically just said, look, I can look at this at a glance now and say, these look like these are the really key ones to do. And you can have a conversation about, help me prioritize this. This is everything I need to get, which just makes this so incredibly epic. We come back over. If any to-do item requires additional context clarification, add a brief note in parentheses to the item. And remember, as a productivity assistant, your goal is to simplify complex conversations into organized, prioritized lists that enable users to take action and stay on top of their responsibilities. Maintain a professional and efficient tone throughout the whole process. And then we're going to add in the text. So what is the text? The text is from the tool, it's from the text aggregator here, okay? Context, boom, enter. So let's zoom out and summarize because we've covered a couple of things here, okay? Let me take a step back here. Right, so it starts off with GPT-4o. We're on the phone, we're having a good time, we're having a conversation. Then we export it, we send it over to Slack. Then what happens is this model says, hey, cool, I found a URL, that's awesome. Brings it over to Bracket Guy. Bracket Guy works his magic to format it for us. It sends it over to Appify. Appify then runs an agent with the script that we gave it to pull down all the information that we need. Once that's done, we grab it with this one here because it's found out that, hey, like the Appify things run. This grabs the data. This iteration tool is just an overcomplicated expression of saying, cool, let me grab the data from Appify and bring it to a way that Claude is going to be able to understand it. And then Claude's going to take all the conversation and just turn it into something that is useful to us. And when that's done, then we select the destination. And remember, guys, you get to pick the trigger, you get to pick the destination, and also the type of thing you want us to run. I could easily do 50 different videos on all the cool things you could do with this, but I picked productivity because we all want to be cool and productive, right? So it felt like a good option. So look, we click here. What do I want to do next? I want to add the outputs to, in this case, I put Google Doc. You could pick Notion, you could do emails, you could do anything. Google Docs, come down. What do I want? I want to insert a paragraph into a document. If you want Google Docs, of course. Choose a drive, my drive, document ID. So we can click on hit to choose a file. I've selected Productivity Tracker. Productivity Tracker, oh my goodness, am I hungry? I don't know. Productivity Tracker, appended text is just going to be this text output field from Anthropic Claude. Click that. Then we click OK. This all works properly, guys. The end of this automation is going to be fully populated and we'll have a full productivity tracker just from a conversation. How cool is that? Right, run once, let's do it. Slack's found it. Bracket Guy's worked his magic. Appify's grabbed it. And now I sometimes feel like I'm narrating the horse racing, man. I feel like I'm in the booth a little bit. Let's see if it's running in the background. It's running, awesome. And again, guys, these prices, man. These are really bottom of the barrel prices. Appify is such a sick platform. It's running. It's backing in the background. We're giving it some time. We'll see how it goes. We come back here. And the applications of this is phenomenal. I've got so many ideas for sick videos and we're building out so many of these applications in the community. I should also say, by the way, right, not all the content I put on YouTube, I put so much behind in the community to help people run and take it to the next level. So if you want content you can't find here, I would love you to join and we can help and build an amazing relationship and get you flying. Appify's grabbed it. We grabbed the data, the iterator, the tools aggregator has done its job. Anthropic is crafting, hopefully, something magical for us. And then once that's done, it'll go over to Google Docs. I'd love to know, by the way, down below, how you would potentially use this and how you see this working for you. So, moment of truth. If I head over now to Google Docs, I should see this productivity conversation I had. So let's come over here, we click, and look at this, guys. Look at this, guys. Personal, shopping. I mean, it's even segmented it by areas of my life. The personal, I don't know how the wife's gonna feel about being an orange priority. I might need to tell her, look, you're an amber, you're not quite at the red level yet. Come down, set up workspace, plan weekly tasks. And by the way, guys, I got this one out pretty quickly because I just wanted to show you how cool this was. But what you can do is actually add a prioritization matrix. You can say to it, look, these are the things that are like a 10 out of 10 for me, and these are the 1 out of 10s. So you can get really sophisticated. I'm gonna build those resources out as well. So you can just download, you can access it, you can get all the trackers and all the full prompts. This is just, I guess in some sense, a proof of concept to show you how epic this is, but I'm gonna build out all the materials. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the full automation. So tell me down below, how would you physically use this automation and what kind of stuff would you wanna use it for? In any case, guys, you've been awesome. Have a wonderful week and I'll see you in the next video.